welcome, Adam. Anyway, thanks for coming in and for talking to us about this referendum that's gone ahead. So, can you tell me, first of all, in detail, what this referendum is about?
I think first and foremost, the referendum is to extend and increase the current student levy. So at the minute the levy is €72 and it's paying for the boathouse. The boathouse was completed about 4 years ago, but the levy actually runs out at Christmas. So with this intake of students, they have now paid off the entire cost of the boathouse. So we decided that a process began about 3 or 4 years ago in the union to see what could fill the void there, or whether there was a need to fill the void to continue the levy, because it's much easier to extend a levy than it is to create a levy. So I think it's sort of fallen upon myself now to promote that we are now looking to extend and increase the levy to provide 3 completely different projects, quite unique in terms of their comparison with the other 2, and I think that's basically the rationale behind the levy itself.
So I think the main argument against this, now I know we tried to get someone to come in to talk to us against this referendum, but I think the main argument is the cost. What would you say to people who say that this is the wrong time in the face of oncoming fees, that this is the wrong time to increase the student levy?
I think it's a very valid argument to say that the cost of college is increasing, and to extend this levy and increase it would put unnecessary financial hardship on students. But I think the important thing for me, I think we have to remember that I'm going to have to go back being a student and I'm going to have to pay it myself. So, at least I'm talking about something that I will actually contribute towards, is that when the cost of college is increasing, we don't see any benefit out of it. The money the university receives stays the same. It's just the contributions for the government is less. I don't think I'd necessarily have an issue with paying an extra €250 to the university if it meant that there was more tutorial hours, more time with lecturers, or you'd see some sort of benefit to paying that.
Do you think that in the face of, we'll say, it's going to come down the line that there's going to be proper fees? I mean, there's these increasing student contributions at the moment, but this is a 20-year proposal. Do you think that within that 20-year time frame, if there happens to be a proper fee system like the one in the UK, for instance, that the students would have a reasonable expectation of getting those kind of facilities that you're talking about provided to them as encompassed in the price of going to university?
Well, I think it's important that we sort of recognise that even if full fees came in, the money that the university would receive wouldn't increase. If the fees came in at 6,000, the university would still receive 6,000. So there's only so much that they can provide. So
I mean, the new student centre is probably the most ambitious undertaking out of the 3. So can you explain in detail what this new student centre will entail, and what it'll bring to students in 2017 when it's finished?
I think before you look at the new student centre, you have to look at the current one. And the current one was built in the late 90s, but it was built to fit in with the theme of the surrounding area, so it was built to stay within the theme of stables. But what you lose out then is that it's not purpose built for students really. It was built for a smaller number of students as well. So at the minute, if you have 100 people in the current student union, it looks full. The common room, if you have 25 people inside there sitting on the couches, the place is full. So the process started when Randall McLaughlin was president, where he compiled a document and presented it to the university, explaining what we needed in the student union, in the student centre building. And it ranged from more classrooms, more breakout rooms, to cinemas, to a gig venue, to bathing chambers, an auditorium.
Tell us about the nightclub. I'm interested that there's
at the minute it's sort of
proposal for a nightclub.
At the minute it's being regarded as a nightclub from people within the student population.
Okay.
We've always marketed it as a gig venue, but also a multi-purpose venue, so that on a Thursday afternoon...
So you're saying it wouldn't be a nightclub?
No.
It wouldn't be like the Lodge 2.0?
No, it wouldn't be like the Lodge. No, it could be like what we do during Freshers Week. We could get a later licence for a certain night, or we can have less noise out there. Also,
so how much use would it get then?
Well, what we're aiming for is that it's a multi-purpose venue, so that on a Thursday afternoon it could be there could be a conference on inside there. There's a complete lack of space currently in the university for conferences, which is what we've heard from lecturers. So on a Thursday it could be a conference space. On a Thursday evening we could have a gig inside there.
Do you think that it matters that it's really close to the library?
I don't think so, because at the minute the concert hall is there, and you can't hear the concert hall outside of the foundation building.
Well, I would imagine that the concert hall would be a different type of venue than if you were to have the Coronas, we'll say. I remember when the Coronas played for UL40, you could be heard in Milford Grange. So.
But I think the problem with the Coronas is that it was an outdoor gig, and obviously the sound travels further and louder.
Yeah.
I think if that was an issue for people, it would still currently be an issue where we have something on the courtyard.
A lot of people on various websites are asking why this vote was rolled into one. Can you explain to people who claim that you haven't yet that why this has become a 3-in-1 vote instead of 3 separate?
I think I've made my position very clear on this. It's important that if you're in favour of the pitches, you should be in favour of something that someone else is in favour of. So if you're voting, we've seen it with sabbatical elections, you might vote for one person but not vote for the other two. So what we did was we safeguarded that option, that we said that if you want a student union building or a new student centre building, you should give the same respect to our clubs that want the arena extension or Maguire's Fields, and vice versa. If you think that the rugby club should be able to train on campus and train at whatever time they wanted, the same should apply, that our society should have as much notice as possible to advertise for any of their events that they're holding.
One other thing, the current student centre, what will become of that when this building is finished?
There's been talks with the university about it. Nothing's really happened at great length yet. I think nothing will happen until we know whether the referendum is passing or not. One thing that I can say for certain is we won't be giving the building up for free. Students provided quite a substantial amount of money for this back in the late 90s, and as such we are not willing to give up the building for free. Now, as I said, those discussions are yet to be had, but I'm adamant that we will not give up quite a valuable resource to ourselves.
Great. So have you got anything else to say to anyone before the vote on Thursday?
No, I think it's just important that students do come out to any of the events that we're holding over the next few days, and they do get fully informed. The last thing I want is someone voting no just because they think it's an added cost to college and they don't know the benefits of it.